Hi everyone, this is Jenna with Brown Dog Craft Company. Today's video is all about masking. So I'm going to show you some really fun ways to use masking and masking paper to make some really cute Christmas or fall cards. So today we're going to use the Snowy Wonder bundle, and it's a photopolymer stamp set with coordinating dies, and I also made 2 bonus cards for you. So I'm going to pull in some of the postage dies, and we're going to mask using just some post-it tape or any sticky tape that you have. We're going to mask some postage stamp dies and create some really fun images. So here's everything that I die cut out. You can see I laid everything out. I did cut the largest, or second largest, I think that is, postage stamp die from some DSP, the Snowy Wonder DSP, and then just to make it a little bit heavier, I've got some cardstock. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking my white die cut squares. I have 4 squares, and I'm using some mint tape here, but you could use any either post-it notes or any tape that you have that's removable. And I am not using a ruler. I'm just masking off about 1/4 of an inch, an eighth to 1/4 of an inch of the outside of those squares. So what that is going to do is it's going to prevent anything that we do next on these squares from getting onto that 1/4 inch border. So it'll give us a nice white border. And there's no science here. I'm not being very specific. I'm just eyeballing it and making it as straight as I can. So I will do this to all 4 of the squares. Each square will contain a different image. So let's see. The large square here will be the snowman. There will be 2 smaller squares with a penguin and some with trees. And then the taller, thinner square will be some mountains. So once I have everything masked off, here I've got the snowman on a clear block, and I'm going to use some petal pink ink, and I'm going to stamp him right in the center here. And now keep in mind, anywhere where there's post-it tape, the snowman will not be stamped. So here we'll get that down. And there's our cute little snowman. And then what we're going to do is we're going to stamp the snowman in whatever color ink you want. I stamped him in black ink on some masking paper. And what masking paper is it's a thin paper. And when you peel off the backing, it's sticky. So what I did is I stamped the snowman and all of my other images onto the masking paper, and then I fussy cut them out. So when you're masking, you don't want to use the dies. You actually do want to fussy cut because you want to cut right along the black outline or right along the stamped outline. That will give you the closest direct layover of your stamped image. So here I am. I'm going to lay that piece over the snowman. It's going to cover where we stamped, and then I'm going to take some petal pink ink on my blending brush and just blend a light coverage of petal pink ink in the background. And now what this is doing is where the post-it tape is and where the masking tape is, there won't be any ink in the background. Okay, so this is what I'm going to go ahead and do for all 4 squares, or some are rectangles. Let's see, there's 3 squares and 1 rectangle. So you can see when you pull away that post-it tape, you have a nice white 1/4 inch border. And then I'll go ahead and I'll do that again on every single postage stamp. And this one is going to get the 2 mountains in petal pink. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to stamp the small mountain first. I changed my mind. Here I was going to do the large one. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp the small mountain first. That will be in the foreground, so closest to me. I will cover the small mountain with a mask. And then when I stamp the larger mountain will look like it's behind the smaller mountain. Okay, so that's how we'll get a little bit of depth and dimension in our stamping here. So again, I've just stamped the mountain on masking paper, fussy cut it out with my scissors, and then peeled the backer off. So now here I'll stamp the larger mountain, and I know mountains aren't really pink, but it goes well with the card. So we don't need gray or green mountains. And here I am with the blending brush again, and all of these postage stamps are getting the petal pink background. Just very subtle. Okay, so, and I picked my colors from the DSP. So the DSP is Poppy Parade, Petal Pink, Garden Green, and White. So here I'm going to do something similar with the 2 tree stamps. I'll stamp the small tree first, and I have a mask created for that. So this is Garden Green, and I'll put the mask over, and then I'll stamp the larger tree. Again in Garden Green, and put the mask over, and you probably guessed it, I will be ink blending Petal Pink ink in the background of this postage square also. So we'll get the backer off. So here you can see me peel the backer off, and it basically creates a sticker. Now you can use your mask a couple of times. I just created one set of masks, and I made both the card that I'm showing you here and the pool party card that I show in the end and in the photos. So I was able to use the masks twice, and I think I could probably have used them at least one more time. So, okay, and then the last one, I don't think we've done the penguin yet. So the last postage square will be the penguin. So here again, I've masked off with my Post-it tape that I'm just reusing, or my mint tape. And our penguin is black, and we'll stamp him. I used Memento for the penguin. Tuxedo black, I think it is. And now is my favorite part. Once we ink blend, we'll put the mask on the penguin. We'll ink blend the Petal Pink ink. And then my favorite part is the peel and reveal. So you get to peel off your masks and see how well you did. So it's my favorite part of the project. And just be careful when you're peeling your masks off. You don't want to rip your paper. Okay, so we'll peel all of our masks off, and as you can see, none of the images where we stamped have the Petal Pink ink on them because they were covered. So masking is really fun, and I encourage you all to try it. I think you'll be surprised at what it can do. Cute, they're so adorable. All right, now we're gonna color. I'm just gonna do a little bit of Petal Pink on my snowman. That's light Petal Pink, and then I'll do some blender to blend out that line. He'll need some Petal Pink cheeks, and his little carrot nose will be light peach pie. And we'll do the same for the penguin. He'll have little Petal Pink cheeks and peach pie nose, and his belly is white, but I don't like to leave white. So I have a little bit of crumb cake. I just drew a little line of crumb cake, light crumb cake, and then I'm gonna blend that out with the blender. So just give the penguin a little bit of shadow, a little bit of depth and dimension. And there, of course, are those cute little cheeks. I have to do cute little pink cheeks on every animal. It's just like a must. It's just a must. And here is that peach pink light for noses. Okay, so really simple coloring. All of these are going to get dimensionals. They'll be popped up. And when we have all of that, we can work on our placement on our card. So for the sentiment, I want my sentiment to be a little bit sturdier. So what I did is I cut out that rectangular shape from the postage stamp dies from Poppy Parade cardstock, and I cut it out twice. So I'm just going to glue it together. They'll fit right on top of each other after I've heat embossed my sentiment. So I'm choosing Let It Snow. I'll stamp it in embossing ink and heat emboss it with white embossing powder. Once the embossing powder has cooled off, I will glue the Poppy Parade sentiment to the Poppy Parade like second piece, right? And that just gives us a little bit more dimension. And I do the same thing with the DSP. So the DSP is obviously thinner weight or lighter weight than cardstock, and I like it to be a little bit more sturdy on my card. So I die cut an extra postage square or rectangle, I guess, to match the DSP size. So I just had a spare scrap of Poppy Parade for that. So that's what I did for that. And I'll show you, I'll glue them together here shortly. So here are those pieces. I'm going to glue the DSP to the Poppy Parade piece to make it a little more sturdy. They fit perfectly. Whoops, don't glue that upside down. Okay, and I'll do the same with the sentiment. Line that up. Perfect fit. Okay, we'll get that in there. And do the same for the sentiment here. And voila, you have a sturdier sentiment. This will get popped up with dimensionals also, of course, because dimension is everything. I don't think I can make a flat card. Tell me in the comments, have you guys made a completely flat card with no dimension? I don't think I ever have. Okay, so here I have everything is being adhered to the card. And we'll get our sentiment placed down there. Such a cute sentiment, let it snow. I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready for a little bit of snow. I know by the end of the winter we're done with snow, but right now I'm looking forward to the snow. Okay, so here I have some ribbon. This is the white ribbon. I think it's in the mini catalog, but I have a bow maker here and I'm just going to tie a bow. Now I do have a tutorial on how to tie a bow. The bow makers I do sell. They're $19 plus $1 shipping, but I'll link the bow maker tutorial in the description. So you can see exactly how to make bows. It's not hard. And I can tell you honestly that I would not make bows if I did not have a bow maker. I'm not good at making them freehand. Some people are, and if you are one of them, I commend you, but I am not one of those. All right, here I have a petal pink card base. I'm going to pop up the DSP panel, of course, put that right in the center. I stamped some pink snowflakes on a 4 by 5 1/4 white mat. That'll go on the inside. We can add our bow with a glue dot or glue, trim our tails. Make sure you use your ribbon scissors. Here are my ribbon scissors. I tie a ribbon around them. That's how I know they're my ribbon scissors, and they don't get used for paper. I try my best to only use them for ribbon. And I die cut a couple of extra things. So I stamped a present in Poppy Parade, die cut it out, and that little tree from Garden Green, and a little snowflake die cut from Pool Party. So those will get added, dimensionals and glue for the snowflake. So those will get added to the card. Let's see here. The tree goes next to the snowman, I think is where that ends up. By the penguin? No, by the snowman. The penguin gets the gift or the present. And the snowflake, here you can see my thought process. This is what goes on in my mind. There, no, I think the snowflake looks good there. Yep. And tree over here. Now this tree die cut's really cute. There's no stamp that coordinates with that die cut, but it die cuts cute little lines. And it's just a fun die cut. So we'll add just a little bit of glue to the center of this snowflake. Reverse tweezers are your friend in this instance. And that's going to go up here. Now, of course, we can't end a card without embellishments. So this card is going to get snowflakes. They're the clay snowflakes, and they have, I think there's 2 sizes. So I scattered an odd number about with glue, and I'm just picking those up and putting those on the card. Snowflakes go well with this winter card. And last but not least, I like to use glossy accents. And glossy accents is a glue, if you wanted it to be a glue. But what it is it goes on, it's made by Ranger. It goes on cloudy, but when it dries hard and clear. So it works really good for snow. And I'm going to put it on the tree and on the snowflake. So like on the autumn card, I used it on the whipped cream. And on the Pool Party card, I used it pretty much in the same place. I used it on the candy canes and the snow on the mountains. So it just dries really nicely and gives a nice added touch, that little bit of extra to your card. So just make sure you set it somewhere to dry. It takes about an hour to dry. Okay, and there's our finished card. Isn't it cute? And here are the other cards I made utilizing masking. and I really hope you give it a try. So let me know in the comments if you like to mask, if you've ever masked before, or if you think you're going to give it a try. It's really not hard. Masking paper is not very expensive, and it goes a long way. So, oh, and here's that autumn card. Isn't it adorable? I love the pumpkin coffee. That's my favorite. Okay, so I really want to hear if you are going to give this a try or not, so make sure to leave a comment and let me know. Thanks for watching today, and I hope to see you again next time. Take care. Bye now.